You know, it's been so long since I did a reaction video on this channel, just because there hasn't been anything to react to, really, that I forgot that was a part of my channel's content. But after a long reaction drought, still exhausted from my raid in Final Fantasy, we have a Decino video. Everything you need to know about the Nightmare difficulty in Doom. Now, I know Decino and Peter did some other, like, Nightmare videos, like, way back, like a Nightmare, like, it was like a tier list of, like, monsters and all that, but I think there was also a video on, like, just overall, like, analysis of Nightmare, I feel like I want to say. But, I feel like that was already pretty telling, but I feel like... Well, I guess since, Decino lately played through all the Ultimate Doom plus Sigil levels on Nightmare. I guess because he's decided his life is going too well, so he wanted to ruin it a bit. That I guess maybe he's probably found some more, like, shortcuts or secrets to getting past Nightmare. So let's see what he's found. Let's see. Decino, I haven't said this in forever. Decino's given me consent to make this reaction video. If you haven't seen the original, close this video now, go to his channel, go give him your first view, and come back here and we'll watch this together. I'm going to take a drink of water, and I'm going to hit play. Let's see what happens. Let me tab into the actual window.
2023, the year where classic...
This is really quiet. Sorry, could you say that again, Decino?
2023, the year where classic Doom's Nightmare difficulty will go through a renaissance. Is it? No, I just made it up. But after playing Ultraviolence for so long, Nightmare is an awesome refreshment. Even the most hardened Ultraviolence pros may have to adjust their playstyle to survive the base games on Nightmare. So I did
Yeah, I don't know about May. I think you have to.
talk about Nightmare specific mechanics in previous videos. I've mentioned the aggressiveness, the projectile speed changes, turbo pinkies, respawning, and so forth. These were spread out over several videos. This analysis will be about these mechanics too, but in deeper detail and neatly compiled into a single video. But first,
Excellent.
Let's go back in time.
Okay. Teleport.
It's the year 1994. People all over the world are enjoying this new phenomenon called Doom. However, some super epic gamer nerds believe the game is too easy, even on Ultraviolence, so they complain to id Software that the game's not challenging enough. id Software, unhappy with the complaints, started working on a difficulty that, in their eyes, was not even remotely fair. So, as a joke, when version 1.2 got released on February 17th, 1994, it revealed Nightmare difficulty to the world to shut up the Ultraviolence babies. Hold on a second. Citation needed.
Really?
Was
Wait
Nightmare
a minute.
even added as a joke? Were we lied to all this time? There's only one way to find out.
I'd like to know.
Dear John Romero, Nightmare. Joke difficulty? Yay or nay? Bye, Pumpkin Man.
You spelled it wrong! It's Y-E-A! What did Romero have to say? Oh! I missed that sound. Can I hear it again?
Hey Decino, I had read some posts on Usenet back then with some players saying UV wasn't as tough as they had hoped it would be. Then others chimed in and said they wish there was a really hard mode in the game. And I thought, oh really? Okay then, you're all dead. I told John Carmack we need to make an even more difficult mode and call it Nightmare. The two things that will destroy all players is enemies firing twice as fast and respawning after 30 seconds. That would just ruin players who said the game was too easy. It wasn't meant to be fair or even finishable. I can't even get past E1M3 in Nightmare.
Yeah, that's like the motherfucker of episode 1, E1M3.
Any level with backtracking would be almost impossible.
So all of them, pretty
So
much.
John implemented it, and it was my idea for the double speed and respawning. Kevin did the menu art. I played Doom a lot before that edition, and I could blast everything in the game without a problem, and figured that's what it would take to be an impossible challenge to me.
So there it is from the man
Hell yeah,
himself.
Romero.
Thank you, John Romero, for the swift reply.
Thank you.
In its eyes, it was a difficulty so tough, it would make most maps unfinishable. Ah, if only they knew. Enough backstory. Let's select Nightmare difficulty and see how it affects the game. When you select Nightmare through the menu, you will be greeted by a welcoming message. Are you sure? This skill level isn't even remotely fair. Press Y or N. Press Y and let the fun begin.
That scared the shit out of me. Also, in the like the Xbox Live port, the Xbox Live Arcade port, there's no confirmation if you hit Nightmare, you're going in.
Nightmare difficulty is basically ultraviolence with 3 additional mechanics: fast monsters, respawning monsters, and double ammo pickups. In the original Doom executable, cheats were disabled except for it clev and it DT, but the source code commented out this restriction. Most source ports nowadays allow cheats on Nightmare.
Wait, hang on. Wait, what?
But the source code commented out this restriction.
Source code comp. Okay.
Most source ports nowadays allow cheats on Nightmare.
Sorry, my brain is small.
Let's talk about fast monsters first. Stating the obvious, they are aggressive.
Yes, they are. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Decino.
Let's talk about fast monsters first. Stating the obvious, they are aggressive. Normally, when an enemy wakes up, they
Thank
must
you.
move a bit until they're able to attack. On Nightmare, this delay does not exist. Enemy spots you, they will immediately attack.
Yep.
This is not the case when playing with fast monsters and other difficulties, by the way. This is an exclusive change to Nightmare only.
Reaction time.
Normally, monsters must move a bit before they'll decide to do a ranged attack. On Nightmare, they don't need to. They will act like turrets and attack non-stop until you get out of their line of sight. They will only move a tiny bit if the distance check randomness fails. So if you're far away, they'll become less turret-like. Imps, Pinkies, Cacodemons, Hell Knights and Barons behave differently on Nightmare difficulty too. Whenever you start a new game on Nightmare difficulty, a special condition is checked where the current skill level is compared to the newly selected one. If the current skill level is not Nightmare and the new one is, then the game will alter the following. Pinkies will move and attack twice as fast and their pain duration will be halved. Spectres too, as they're classified as Pinkies. Imp and Cacodemon fireballs will travel twice as fast. Baron of Hell and Hell Knight fireballs will travel 33% faster. The Pinky alterations are interesting though, as the game doesn't set the adjusted speed, but halves the current state durations in memory instead. When you start a new game that is at Nightmare difficulty, the game checks if the current one is Nightmare and restores the Pinky state durations by doubling it again. This becomes a big problem when save games are involved. Check this out.
Yes, it does. The Unity port. This will happen in the Unity
We
port.
start a game on Nightmare. Our current skill level is not Nightmare, so this condition is true. The game halves the Pinky state durations to make them go turbo. Let's make a save and start a new game on Ultraviolence. Our skill level was Nightmare, and now it's Ultraviolence, so restore the Pinky state durations by doubling them again. Makes sense, right? Well, loading the Nightmare save sets the current skill level to Nightmare without altering the Pinkies. That's only done if you start a new game. If we start a new Ultraviolence game again, the game sees that the current skill level is Nightmare, and the new one will be Ultraviolence.
Wait a minute.
That means it will run this code and double the state durations again.
Wait a
Now
minute.
we've got normal Pinkies on Nightmare. Kind of weird, huh?
Oh, okay.
There's no limit to this either. You can do this multiple times.
I was just thinking
with
that, yeah,
each
wait a
new
minute.
game started, halving the Pinky speed over and over. At some point, it will take literal minutes for Pinkies to advance.
Okay, I never did that. That's really cool. That is really funny.
You can also do this the other way around. Make
Oh
a save
no!
on, let's say,
Oh no!
Ultraviolence, start a new game on Nightmare, and reload the save.
Oh
Start a new game on
god.
Nightmare again, and load your Ultraviolence save. This will run the Pinky state duration halving code, turning turtle Pinkies into instant death machines.
Oh
After 2
my
loads,
god. That's like something out of a horror game, dude.
their state duration essentially becomes 0, so they will process all of their movements and attacks within a single frame. Picture it like this: the Pinky freezes time, runs to the player, chomps them to death, and unfreezes time. If the super mega epic Turtle Pinky cannot reach the player, the game will freeze, as the Pinky states are all running in a single tick and the engine is unable to advance to the next game tick as long as the state duration is 0 ticks.
Really? I never knew that. That's amazing. Oh my god. Okay. I want to make, like, a big hallway in Doom Builder, like, 10,000 units, and run this trick. And I just want to see what happens at, like, the fastest speed. If, like, the Pinky literally just gets there, like, instantly. Or, I want to see how long... I wonder.
When the player is reachable and killed, the pinky changes its state to idle. This state is unaffected by Nightmare and has state durations that aren't 0, so the engine will process game ticks normally again. Most modern source ports fix this bug. Second mechanic, respawning. This is without a doubt the mechanic that causes the most stress, as it's completely unpredictable when an enemy will respawn.
There's a map in Nerf, actually, map 7, that uses this mechanic, and it's actually really good. That you have to, it's a map 7, and you have to, the final arena has like, you're like in a pit, and on like a cliff at the back is an Arachnotron, and it's the only Arachnotron on the map, so you kill it, and the floor raises however much, but it releases new enemies into the pit, so you have to deal with them respawning, and you have to wait for the Arachnotron to respawn, so you have to kill it, and then keep raising the pit, and you can sometimes have to wait forever for the Arachnotron to spawn. Or in Decino's playthrough, it'll respawn in 5 seconds, or however long.
Logic behind respawning is fairly simple. Let's go through it step by step.
I'm gonna open a granola bar, by the way, because I'm like starving. I haven't eaten in about like a full day, so.
Entity has died and is on its final death sprite, it will start running a respawn check every game tick, which is every 1/35th of a second. First, it checks if this dead thing is flagged as something that counts as a kill. What does not count as a kill?
Lost
Players, lost souls, explosive barrels, and Romero's head.
Yo, imagine if players counted as kills. Dude, free respawns.
These will never respawn. Yes, even bosses like spider demons and cyber demons will respawn. Lost souls and barrels are removed from the game when their death animation ends, so they leave no corpse behind at all. No corpse means no respawn check.
However, and I bet he's gonna say it in a second,
there is a way to still create lost soul and barrel corpses though, and that is done through crushers. If a lost soul or barrel is destroyed through a crusher,
wait, a barrel?
death animation fully elapses, it will leave behind a pile of flattened meat. Yeah, it's weird, I know. The flattened meat, however, does run the respawn logic.
I didn't know that, okay.
It stops here, since they still fail the kill counting condition. In Doom versions prior to Doom 2's release, however, lost souls did actually count as kills, so if they were turned into a pancake, they were able to respawn. How horrible. Pain elementals are similar. They too are removed from the game when dead, but they leave no corpse behind.
But
however,
they count as a kill.
When crushed by a crusher, before the death animation elapses, it does leave a corpse behind, in the form of crushed giblets. Now the pain elemental does have a corpse, which means it can respawn. Gibbed corpses will also respawn normally. Anyway, went a bit on a tangent there. The next condition we check is if the game's respawn monsters parameter is set. On Nightmare, this is always the case, but you can also enable respawning monsters outside Night difficulty by launching the game with the dash respawn parameter. Here, the game increments the corpse move count variable. In this case, it will be used to track down how long the entity's been dead. If 12 seconds haven't elapsed yet, then don't try to respawn. Next condition. Is the game's timer a multiple of 32 game ticks? This timer increments every 1/35th of a second as long as the game is running. What this means is that a corpse will do a respawn check nearly every second. You can witness this when you nuke a large group of enemies, they will start respawning in a certain rhythm.
Yeah, I've seen this, okay.
And the final condition is RNG in their favor, or yours. If all previous conditions pass, then it will roll a random number between 0 and 255. Is this number less than or equal to 4? Then try respawning. In simpler terms, a corpse has around 2.6% chance of respawning per elapsed second. Logically, the longer a corpse has been rotting around, the odds of respawning successfully will accumulate. We can calculate...
That's true, because, like, the longer... Well, think of it like doing a very hard fight. Or, like, whatever very hard fight in Doom. The longer you're in the fight, the increased chance you're going to mess up and die. So, the longer it's dead, and the more times it runs that check, eventually it's going to succeed.
How long it takes on average for a corpse to respawn. We can use a constant to represent the chance of...
Alright, I don't know what this means. I don't speak French.
...respawning per second. With this variable,
I went to public school.
We will assign the chance of a corpse having respawned after X time has passed. We can try 50%, which yields approximately 26. Don't forget enemies need to be dead for at least 12 seconds before the respawn check is even done. So after around 38 seconds, there's a 50% chance the enemy has respawned. We can assume this is the average time required. If we enter 99%, we can assume the chances are extremely likely an enemy will respawn within 3 minutes. We can plot all of this into a nice graph to give you an idea how likely an enemy has respawned after a period of time has passed. In theory, a corpse may never respawn, of course. It's all about chance after all.
Yeah.
So we've passed all the conditions. Time to respawn, right? Not yet. There's one more check. When an enemy respawns, it will respawn at its original position, the position when map started.
Oh! I thought, okay, I thought it respawned where it was, alright.
If this position is occupied by the player or another solid entity, the respawn is denied and it will try the entire respawn check again.
Wow.
A respawning enemy will not telefrag you or other demons.
Map 30.
Not
Map
even
30.
on map 30. If
Wait,
an
what?
Enemy will not telefrag you or other demons. Not even on map 30.
Okay.
If nothing is occupying the enemy's original spawn point, then do the following. Spawn 2 teleport fogs. One at the corpse, and one at the enemy's
I guess
original
because it moves
spawn
it,
point.
yeah.
The corpse's attributes, such as type, original spawn point angle, and ambush flags are all copied over to a new enemy, which is then spawned. The old enemy, so the corpse, is removed. A reaction time of 18 is set to ensure the enemy doesn't immediately attack you when they've respawned.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of garbage, I think. You wouldn't really be able to prepare for that.
Melee attacks are excluded though, as
Oh, of course.
those don't care about the reaction time. The reaction time decreases every time the enemy moves. When the enemy is hurt, the reaction time immediately drops to 0, even if no pain state is caused. When it reaches 0, it will be able to do a ranged attack. If the sector they respawn in has no sound target set, then the enemy will remain asleep. If they are set to ambush and no players around, they will also remain asleep. If a sound target exists and the enemy is not set to ambush, they will immediately start roaming around when they respawn.
Okay.
Enemies spawned by the Icon of Sin don't have any spawn points set, so the spawn point defaults to X0, Y0.
Which is outside the map.
In Doom 2's case, the enemies will respawn somewhere out of bounds. Third and final mechanic...
So, doesn't that... So, okay, hold on. I remember playing Map 30, like, in co-op on Xbox Live. And, like, when you play it on Nightmare, like, after a while, doesn't it kind of just stop spawning monsters? I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen it, like, not spawn monsters after a while on Nightmare. If anybody knows, let me know.
Double ammo. This is to compensate for the extra firepower required to deal with the respawning enemies.
And is why the plasma gun is goated.
Nothing complicated. Every ammo pickup will yield twice the ammo, backpack included. Those energy cell packs look extra delicious on Nightmare. 200 cells per pickup. Yum yum yum. There's a slight oversight however. Picking up shells shows a pickup message where it says you picked up 4 shells, but in reality it's 8. Same with rockets. You picked up a rocket, well no, actually it's 2. There are some Nightmare only map sets that fix this however. But then it gets screwy when you choose a difficulty that does not have double ammo. Nightmare needs more love. Its joke status
I need to play Nerf episode 2 actually, I haven't played that yet.
did more harm than good, and it's time to end the stigma. The first 2 Doom games on Nightmare are surprisingly balanced. Yes, it will be challenging. Some maps will definitely kick your ass. Learn the map, create an efficient route, memorize the locations of medikits and armor. Hell, even stim packs will brighten your day on Nightmare. Respawning enemies may sound stressful, but double ammo helps a lot dealing with them. Often you can benefit from the double ammo without spending it on respawning demons at all if you make haste. Not all maps are about backtracking after all. Besides, if an enemy respawns nearby, they have a cooldown before they're able to attack. Watch those melee attacks though.
It's a pretty lengthy cooldown as well, actually. Like 18, I guess 18 ticks, 18 movements is pretty fair, actually. That's a pretty girthy amount.
Combat is viable. Just because they'll respawn doesn't mean you can stall them or break through them. To prevent tankier demons from respawning to full health, you can also damage them to near death from a distance and kill them with ease once you have to get past them.
Yeah.
Nightmare is fast-paced, requires quick thinking and reflexes, and will rejuvenate your ultimate Doom and Doom 2 experience if you're sick and bored of ultraviolence. To up the challenge, you can also go for 100% secrets, or if you really hate yourself, you can go for 100% kills, secrets, and items. This will maximize the amount of exploration and backtracking, truly bringing out that survival instinct. For kills, you don't have to kill every single enemy once. Killing respawned enemies to get 100% plus kills is allowed too. Now, I'm not saying you should try custom upsets on Nightmare.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna go for 100% kills on Nightmare, I think you should go for every pre-placed kill. That's what I feel, but I'm also a sadist.
From now on.
Or masochist.
Most maps will obviously not be balanced around it, but the more modest WODs like the base games are playable and offer a fun challenge. The WOD that made me love Nightmare difficulty is not even remotely fair, which, despite the name, is a map
This is the map right here I was talking about. Yeah, there's the Arachno up there, and Yeah.
built exclusively for Nightmare that relies on Nightmare difficulty mechanics, which offers a fun and fair challenge through unique looking levels with custom music, textures, and lots of fire blue. I've made a couple of maps and music for it too, so don't mind the self-plug. As of making this video, we are working hard on its third and final episode, so stay tuned for that one. The first 2 episodes are fully playable, there will be a download link in the description. Can we make 2023 the year Doom's Nightmare difficulty gets some love? After nearly 30 years, I think it's time.
I might give it a try. I might. We'll
Thanks
see.
for watching, everyone. I would like to give a special thanks to Peter for convincing me Nightmare is fun as hell, and John Romero for the Nightmare difficulty origin story.
Yeah, that was
I
really
would
cool.
also like to thank my patrons and YouTube members, and the following Turbo Nerds. 19-day, agonizing ophthalmologic pain,
Oh my
agonizing
God.
oral pain,
It's
agonizing
growing.
rectal pain,
It's
Andrew
growing,
Denai,
dude.
Andrew Riz, Andrew Yukimchak, Andriy Niklin, aka Muckhauser, Anthony Sicko, Art Cox, Hashtag The Gaming Connoisseur, Beaks Make Me Coon,
No,
Ben
not the
Langley,
ass, man.
Bitcore, Bofu, Bubsky, Bunderstorm, Cyprian Rusun, Dukey Lukum, Arion Sista, Erwin Wolf, Far, Florida Man, Francis T218, Frigi Duck, Green Knight 9000, Jeffrey Catalan, John Hopper, Joseph Shans, Katsuna Teku, Kirill Gorobets, Master Biggie, Matthias Sippert, Max Payne 67, Mr. Charon, Nighthawk 71,
Yo, none your
Old Man
business.
Han, Pete Peterse, Pockets, Guns 2, Pyro She, Quake Gamer 632, Raven King, Riley.
Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. I have a question. I have exactly one question. I was gonna make a joke about Quake Gamer and ask if they were a Pokemon fan, and this completely caught me off guard. Hold on a second.
Peterse, Pockets, Guns 2, Pyro She, Quake Gamer 632, Raven King, Riley, Robert Wakely, Sandy Cheeks Cock Vacuum, Sean Amina, Skullbladder, Space
Oh
Duck,
my God,
Spectre,
Patreon's
Steak
magical.
Jacobs, Stephen Bone, Stephen Halustic, Teko Kami, The Buzz CL, Thomas, Tim Goldberg, Timothy Collar, Turbine 2K5, Victoria, Watch Space Dandy, and Who's Ace. See you next time.
Hell yeah! I might actually give Nightmare a try after watching that. I don't know how likely that is, but you know, that was cool. That was a cool video. I like that. I like that. The pinky thing I think was my favorite. Learning that you can fuck with them pretty hardcore. That's really cool to know. But all right, it's time for me to go eat because, like I said, I haven't eaten in a full day. But this was probably one of my favorite reaction videos. Sorry, one of my favorite analysis videos of his that's come out in quite a long time. So, well done, Decino. Good night, friends.